It's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts and welcome back to Freaky Friday. And today I am using the Tags stamp set and the matching, if I can find where I put them, but just, what, there it is. Can't see where I put them. The matching die. So it comes as a bundle. You get stamps for Valentine's, for Valentine's, for Christmas and for Halloween. Now obviously I'm concentrating on Halloween at the moment for this project, so I will be using the Halloween ones. And you literally, these are shown at 75% of the actual image, but you literally just hold them or put them over the image, the three images which you stamp in one. This is the Halloween stamp. You stamp them in one and then you just die cut them in one go, and they come with little holes and everything. So I will show you those in a moment. I've just realised I've stuck things together that aren't supposed to be stuck together. So the project is this. It's using one of the Coffin treat boxes, which are in the annual catalogue, in the same section as the Monster Bash suite. They are gorgeous, they're easy to put together, and I've used some of the designer series paper, one of the enamel embellishments, the black scalloped edged ribbon. I don't know if you can see that that's there. I mean, it makes quite a statement in real life. And then on the inside, I have lined my coffin. Now, I got this idea off Pinterest. I think it was one of the samples for the incentive trip, but don't quote me on this. But it's lined with the real red ruched ribbon, which I thought was rather fun. And I'm using, for those of you in the UK, sorry, for those of you who aren't, from a well-known high street supermarket, the Spooky Milk Chocolate Hollow Shapes, which are obviously aimed, sorry about the crinkling, aimed at trick or treat. So I will see if I can find, I want another Dracula. There's another Dracula, so we'll use another Dracula, but you've got all sorts of images and they're just hollow shapes. 12 in a packet and they are £2 for a packet, so relatively inexpensive and fun. I would say you wouldn't want to necessarily give this to a child as a trick-or-treat gift, but if you're doing any form of entertaining over the Halloween period, might be quite fun to have these as your table favours. I'm getting really into table favours at the moment. So then the lid just goes back on and there we are. No one would know what it was until you open it up. For those of you who are not in the UK, the dimensions are, she says, finding her ruler. So the dimensions of the chocolate is about 1.25 inches, and then it needs to fit in the box, which is, let's say, 3.5 inches long. It's sort of 3.75 inches long, but obviously it narrows. So the main one for those of you not in the UK is that 1.25 inches, and the depth of the actual box is just slightly over that. It's not 1.5 inches, but it's slightly more than 1.25 inches. So I have done some prep in advance because there is quite a lot of sticking together. So this is how I would set up my coffin for adhesive. I have put some of the ribbon on, some of the adhesive on ready for the ribbon. So this is for the base. So let me grab my take a pick tool. Let's put the dangerous end on. I say dangerous. You don't want to get that up your fingernail end. So just peel the backing off. The coffins are in the same, I think I said, are in the Monster Bash suite. Remember that if you like everything in a suite, you can use just the one host code. You would also in the suite get the designer series paper, which I am using, a embossing folder, which is gorgeous and is not obviously Halloween, the Spooktacular Bash stamps and matching ornate frames dies, which I have already put my neck on the line to say I think they may be one of those items that carries over, because the frames are non-specific for, they don't have anything Halloween in them. So I just think. Right, so having folded on all your score lines, you then just stick your base together as you would any box. So just line the cut line against the score line, and oops, that I need to pull just that little bit back. So as I say, just line up with the score line, and again I'm going to need to pull this little bit back a teeny weeny bit as well, but that's fine. It will still save time, which is what this is all about. Otherwise you have to watch me tearing bits of tear and tape, which isn't the most fun thing in the world to do. Right, so that's our base done. Ribbon is the next thing. Now I put the base ribbon on before I put the top ribbon. Oh, and I could have put this tape on. So I'm just going to lie a piece of tear and tape down each side of the inside of the box. There we go. Now the top of it is going to be shaped. So what I did is I lay the ribbon on the back of the box, and just with my snips I cut the approximate shape of the inside of the box. Now it is only ribbon, so it's not going to hold it completely, hold its shape completely, particularly as it's ruched, but it just gets you about the right shape. There we go. And then this actually goes on the other side. So we've lined it up on this side, but which is the right hand side of the base, but it's going on this side when we pop it in. If I can get the tape off, she says, famous last words. There we go. Right, so this then pops in so that the cut shaped bit just goes into that corner, and then you can lay the rest of your ribbon down just like that. And then what I might do is, while I'm in here, take the other piece of tape off. So I now want this side. So rather than lining up on this side, I'm going to line it up on the other side, because then when I turn everything over, it will be the right shape. So just cut there, and then cut this angle, and just trim that little top off, which I can do just like that. And then this piece goes on the other side. And they will overlap at the bottom, but I'm not too worried about that. Now, I did make a little pillow, and that wasn't because I felt that Dracula needed a pillow. It was because when you lie it down, it just looks a bit funny, and I think it looks better with a bit of pillow. So all I did was take a small piece of ribbon and a piece of tear and tape and attach that to that. Peel that off, roll it round so it joins up, and then pop another little piece of tear and tape to stick it to the inside of the coffin. It's not often you think about sticking things to the inside of a coffin on a basically craft channel. So that goes in there. Okay, so we've got 2 other little bits of tape that we need to pop in, which were bits that, because we've got seams here, there was no point in putting these bits of tape in until I'd stuck the box together. So there we go, and then we can just peel these bits off. So did I mention in one of my previous videos, I ran a poll in one of the team group message boards about who does and doesn't like Halloween in Europe. I think it's safe to say that people were either very much in one camp or the other, and predominantly they were in the probably not camp, which I must admit is where I've been for most of my life. But I kind of love it now. Anyway, so just start at the end, and I mean as in the bottom, and just get your ribbon and pop it in. And then what you want to try and do is make sure you go into the corners, and then I'm kind of keeping it so it's, I don't know, slightly under 1/8 of an inch from the top. That sort of measurement. Probably should have stuck my pillow in after I'd put my lining in, but never mind. And then just trim to about the right size, and then we can just take another piece of tear and tape, and I'll pop that on the end of my ribbon, peel the backing off, and pop it in. So there we go, that is our lined coffin. So we just now need to put our Dracula in. I've got some glue dots left, not many. Going to need to start a new roll. Never mind. So find the back, pop my glue dot on, and then just lay my Dracula in his coffin. Right, so now we need to make up the lid. The lid, I've used glue dots here because these are tiny little flaps, but otherwise I've used tear and tape again. So I'll just peel those off. And again, we're going to need some more tear and tape for the ribbon on the outside, but it's much, much easier than doing the inside. So just fold our flaps, and then our sides, and again we're just joining straight edge to score line all the way round, and a glue dot is absolutely perfect for that little tab. You can use liquid adhesive. The only thing with liquid adhesive, and is why I didn't use it on the video, is that you do have to then hold it together. And then our lid will fit nice and snugly onto our base. Now, to do the... Oh, he's moved around a bit, never mind. It's because he's not stuck down. Let me stick him back down. That's better. Right, so for the ribbon on the outside of our lid, all I'm going to do is run a piece, actually I might start from here purely because it's a longer run, is stick my tear and tape all the way round. Now you could probably get away with just putting the odd glue dot along the side, but I think it's probably just as easy to add the tear and tape, and then we can just unpeel the whole piece and then grab my ribbon. Now it is scalloped on one edge, so here's the scallop and here's a straight edge. I want the scallop down, so just want to peel up that a little bit because I want this to just go round the corner teeny weeny bit, and then all we need to do is run it along the edge of the box. And you do have a little bit of wiggle room, so if you find that you're going a little bit skew with, just pull it up, it'll be fine. And we stop there. Then just cut slightly longer than you need. Don't need those bits. And grab the glue dots again and pop a glue dot there, or not. Okay, so we're going to actually therefore put the glue dot on the outside of our ribbon, just there, and apparently take half my nail varnish off with the glue dot. Just shows you how tough the glue dots are. And then on the inside of the ribbon as well, and that's because I want to curl the end underneath so that the frayed edge is inside, but I don't want it flapping in the breeze. So yes, lost a bit of nail varnish, but never mind, we can soon deal with that. Okay, so that is that. For the lid, I've cut a piece of designer series paper. Now I've made myself some templates, and I've got a large template and a small template, so that if I wanted to mat and layer, I could do so. But I don't, so that's fine. I've got a real red sponge dauber, so I want to just continue the real red theme onto this. So I'm just going to add some real red ink onto the edge of this piece of designer series paper, and it's the smallest piece. I mean, you know, this was a scrap. Close that up, and now we just need to add this to the top and then do our stamping and heat embossing, and we're good to go. So just with, you could again use tear and tape or liquid adhesive, either would be fine. This isn't taking any pressure though, so it doesn't need to be a really strong adhesive. All you want is for it to stick down and not move, really. So I've got a piece of real red card and my embossing buddy, because we're going to heat emboss. So if you've seen my videos before, you will know that I keep my embossing buddy on the back of my Versamark, and I keep my Versamark upside down, so I can just pick it up and use it, and then blow away. If there's lots of embossing buddy, blow away any excess. And shimmer black embossing powder, piece of scrap grid paper, and add that. And I always do twice, just in case you've missed something and you didn't see that you'd missed it. You're more likely to catch everything if you do it twice, and you can see that's where the embossing buddy didn't hit. Flip the back just to get any excess off, and then this can all go back into the pot. And grab my trusty cheese board. What would I do without my trusty cheese board? Pop pop my stamped piece. Should I move my fold back clip? That might be a good idea, mightn't it? Pop my stamped piece on my cheese board, preferably without taking embossing powder off. Just need to heat up my heat tool, and then we are pretty close to finish. So what can I remind you of? Everything is Rosy. If you remember, the product medley that was available earlier in the year is now on, assuming that it's still available, is now on the clearance rack. So do have a look at that. What else can I tell you? Hopefully by the time you see this I will have the new trimmer. And I will do a review of that, doing a compare and contrast with the old trimmer. It's not available for customers yet. I don't know when it will be available. As soon as I know that it's going to be available, I will of course let you know. But at the moment I don't know. So I can't tell you. And I don't know because we haven't been told. It's not that I'm not keeping up to date with things, we just haven't been told yet. So, die cutter, piece of paper, and our die. And you want to line it up so that you can see all of that frame and so that it's even across here. So that looks good to go. Pop on my top plate and wind through without jolting everything too much. Fingers crossed. And take that off for the moment. Here are our tags. So it even gives you the hole for your tag. Now obviously there's a hole here that you can use, so these just need to have some string put through them. A bit of baker's twine would be perfect, and you're good to go. If you find that you haven't got all of the holes out, you can just push them from behind, but really easy to do. And as I say, 3 tags in one pass, both from a stamp point of view and from a die cutting point of view, so that's a good time saver. Then grab some black, because we've got black dimensionals. Put one in the middle. I'm just using the small ones because you get 2 sheets of large and 2 sheets of small, and I've been using lots of the large and not many of the small, so I thought I would just use some small ones. Take the backings off and grab my coffin. So it does seem slightly surreal to be talking about grabbing coffins, but hey ho. And some of our enamel shapes that goes with, and do I want, or no, I think I'll go for the skull and crossbones, as in danger poison. So there we go. We have, oh, and I should say that we're also, with the dies, you get snowflakes, pumpkins and hearts, so you do get those as little embellishments as well. So there we go, that's one, and there's the other, both with our Dracula inside, with his head on his little cushion, all lined and everything. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you are in the UK and would like to shop with me, I would be really thrilled. By the time you see this, my September shoppers should be about to get, let's see, where are we? Yes, should be about to get their thank you gifts for the month of September. They get a card. Everyone who shops with me gets a card and a little handmade gift. And if you use the host code, you also get product. So, and I just divide the number of people by the amount of Stampin' Rewards, and that's what I spend on you all. I get to choose, and it's lovely. It's my favourite, one of my favourite things. October is also a really good time to join my team because you will get the benefit of the Autumn Winter catalogue. You'll be able to buy the trimmer, buy the Christmas Time is Here bundle. The Christmas Time is Here bundle isn't available until 1st of November for customers, but for new demonstrators, you can put it in your starter kit. But you get the annual, the Autumn Winter catalogue, and those 2 items to choose from, as well as the clearance rack. And then you will get a discount until at least the end of March, which means you'll also get the Spring Summer catalogue and Celebration at a discount. It's amazing. Anyway, thank you very much indeed. If you've enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, the subscribe button is in the bottom right hand corner. I will be thrilled if you would subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye!